All right, gang, what's up? Mike here, head trader at True Trading Group. On March 30th, we are starting the week off strong with some really good technical analysis in small caps. We've got probably my second favorite pattern today that I'm going to share with you, and it's textbook. It is textbook. We made a really nice trade in AIM today. Was a textbook trade line VWAP crossover pattern. It's one of um, the breakout trigger patterns that I cover in all of my courses. You guys have probably, if you follow my channel now for a while, you probably heard me talk about this for quite some time. Make sure you guys like this video, comment below, and if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, and of course, smash that notification button with your mouse to make sure you guys don't miss any more of these videos, because this is a really good one. It's about technical analysis, trade line VWAP crossover pattern, trading small caps. I haven't really been trading small caps in a while. There's been so much volatility and so much opportunity in the broader markets. Like, I've been trading the SPY a lot. I was trading TVIX a lot. Um, I was trading the cruise liners the other day. Like, I'm trading large cap names. When you get stocks like Apple, and it's just, these stocks are just making huge moves. I mean, you name the ticker, the stocks were making such phenomenal moves because we've had really good range, really good volatility. So I wasn't trading small caps, but today the market's in a much, much, much tighter range. Um, Today's action is kind of led by biotech and health related headlines with, um, Abbott getting FDA approval for their coronavirus test that gives you a result in 5 minutes, which is far faster than the previous like 2 days test that they had out there. So we've got that. Johnson and Johnson has identified their lead candidate for vaccine trials. You've got that. Um, Gilead with some announcements on the treatment that they're working on about starting trials up in September, which is several months earlier than what people initially expected. Just some really good health headlines coming out here today, and I think that's why the overall markets are up today. But even though they're up, as I make this video, at least they're up. Who knows? By the time the market closes, that can change. But um, I think that's why the markets are holding up, because the headlines surrounding the cases, around deaths, around extending the quarantine or the social distancing guidelines until April 30th, which Trump did over the weekend. Yeah, a lot of negative headlines coming out over the weekend. So I think that it's those health related headlines that are keeping the markets up today. Um, and we got a smaller range, and I don't think it's a coincidence that the day we have a small range on the SPY, I'm back here focusing and I'm trading small caps today because we had some really good action. Let's get to this AIM trade. I made two trades today, both in small caps, one winner, one loser, but the winner far outpacing and exceeding the losing trade. So finishing the day here with some decent P&L and a good start to the week. So let's get to AIM, guys. So again, this is a trade line VWAP crossover pattern. It's one of my favorite patterns. There are certain criteria that you want to check off, and I'm going to go through every check mark with you on this trade pattern to help you identify it and trade it correctly. Okay. First and foremost, we have AIM. AIM was on the watch list today. We had the gap up, and it pushed higher right off the bell. All right. I like this push off the bell. All right. I like this push off the bell, and we establish an initial morning high. There's our initial morning high right there. Okay. I liked the volume that came in on that push. You see a real nice, strong, heavy, consistent volume bars on that opening bell push. Then here's your consolidation and your pullback. Look at the volume during the consolidation pullback. Okay. So here's your consolidation pullback. Much, much, much lighter volume than the volume that came in on that opening bell push higher. That's the exact type of volume that you would like to see. Okay. So we pull it in, then you start to see that this 50 Fibonacci level starts to kind of act as support. You also have VWAP sitting here, also acting as an area of support, holding the stock up long enough for what to happen. Here's the trade line, this yellow line on my screen. This is the 9 exponential moving average. This is my 9 EMA. Okay, this is my trade line. When the trade line comes up here, you see how the trade line starts to hold the stock. It kind of like scoops the stock up right underneath it and then just throws it back above VWAP. There are two things that you want to see when you get a trade line VWAP crossover. And all that means is the trade line is crossing up and over, it's above VWAP. Okay. Two things that you want to see. The first thing you want to see is a jump in share price. Okay. The first thing you want to see is a jump in share price when you get that trade line VWAP crossover. So there's the crossover. Okay. Right there, you can see the trade line cross up and over VWAP, and that pushed the stock up in share price. The other thing you want to notice when you see that is an increase in trading volume. Okay. So those are the two things that you want to see to give you confirmation that this pattern is triggering and you're going to get a follow through and a continuation move. This is a trade line VWAP crossover. Again, one of my second favorite patterns. So there's your increase in volume. There's your increase in share price. Now, what you do is look for the trade line to become support. That's the next step of this pattern and of this setup. Okay. So let's get to my trade announcements first. Okay, here you guys can see I'm long aim just before 10 a.m. at 266. Okay, so right here, I'm long aim at 266 because of this trade line coming up, this trade line view up crossover. I love the volume profile on this with the heavy volume and the low volume on the pullback. So there's my entry at 266. We push our way up, we get the crossover, we pop up. I say, great, right in front of the high of the day. I'm going to take a piece of my position off the table. So you can see here, I took some profit off at 283 after I'm in at 266. And now I'm sitting in the bulk of my position looking for follow through. Now, after you get the trade line VWAP crossover and you get the increase in share price, the increase in volume, that gives you confirmation. You look for that trade line to start to act as support. Look at what we have here. There's your trade line support. There's your trade line support. And that pushes us through the high of the day. Okay, that pushes us right through the high of the day. And then I go back to my announcements. You can see at 10:11 a.m., I took the bulk of my position off the table at 3:05 right there. So here are my take profits. Again, here's my entry. Okay, so here's the entry, first take, second take. And then once again, look at this support at the trade line. Notice how strong the trade line is acting as support as we climb higher. And then you also have real strong, steady increasing volume as we climb higher. And this aim just continued and went all the way up to around 340. Okay, just a beautiful, beautiful trade. I held on to 25% of this position. I thought we had a chance to get up towards like 360. I actually had an offer sitting out at $3.55. I thought we were going to have a chance to get there here on this push because if I take you guys back to the 15-minute chart, I was looking for us to get to this area. Okay, see this previous support back here? This is where I thought AIM was going to try to get to today. And that's where my final take profit. That's right around like 360, 365. So I had an order sitting there at 355. We didn't quite get there. We topped out at 345. So I missed it by about 10 cents. And I ended up selling the last piece of my position for a final take profit right there of $2.84. You guys can see right up here at my last trade execution of the day there, 284 on the day. So here, here's your entry, first take, second take, final take. And it was a nice little trade, guys. This is a textbook trade line VWAP crossover pattern. And if you guys, are able to understand and recognize this pattern, but also be able to understand when do you get the confirmation that this pattern is going to give you follow through, it's all about volume. It is all about volume. When that trade line VWAP crossover pattern happens, you want to see that increase in volume. You want to see it coupled with an increase in share price, and then look for that trade line to be support. The same holds true to the downside. The downside, you can still do a trade line VWAP crossover. It's just flipped. Okay, so you look for the trade line to cross underneath VWAP instead of, in this case, over it. You look for it to cross underneath it, and then you look for that trade line to be resistance. That's exactly the trade that I made on Friday when I shorted Royal Caribbean, when I shorted the cruise liners, RCL. That was the exact same pattern, the exact same setup, just a trade line VWAP cross the other way. Okay, here it is. There's your trade line VWAP crossover. Okay, you see it happens right there. And then look at all of that resistance on the trade line. Okay, so it holds both ways. Remember, guys, the first crossover will be usually the most significant one. Okay, the first crossover pattern will be the most significant one. And that's it today, guys. I made another trade in SPCB. I thought maybe we were going to bounce off of VWAP and this previous haul price, this 150 area. Let me draw a line here. This area with this previous haul price, we had VWAP sitting underneath it. And then when I go to the daily chart, you can see all the way back here, we had some previous resistance here around 150. So I thought maybe since we had gotten through it on the pullback, I was looking maybe for it to be support. So I took a quick stab at SPCB here. Long right here at, oh, sorry, let me pull that back. I got long right there at 153, and I got flat right there. I think you guys see my trade numbers on the day. Long here, you can see where I'm at, 153, sold that 137. So I gave some of my profits back from that AIM trade, but still finishing the day with a decent green day, decent little P&L, and a good way to start off the week. I wasn't expecting to trade small caps today. I haven't traded them in a while, so it kind of felt good to get back into some small cap action. And we'll see what the rest of the week holds. Guys, tomorrow's TG Tuesday. Chat room's open free for everybody. If you guys want to come in, trade with me live, you see my screen, you hear me on the microphone, know exactly what it is that I'm doing. You can also send me messages during the day, ask me questions, whatever it is, and enjoy a day in the True Trading Group chat room for free. Just go to truetradinggroup.com, upper right-hand corner, click on TTG Tuesday, fill out that form, and that'll give you a link that'll give you access to our chat room for free for the whole day. Chat room opens up at 7:30 a.m. Eastern. I'll see you guys there. Later.